Are you content with the life that you live?
Do you find yourself comparing your life, yourself, to others? Are you content with your performance as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, granddaughter, as an employee? Or maybe you're the boss, the employer. Are you content with your homemaking skills? Like, does your house look the way that you want it to? Are you happy with yourself? Are you nice and kind to yourself? Do you show yourself grace? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Love Comes Home with Jess. Today, we are going to talk about the act of comparing ourselves and our life situation to others. Do you suffer from the act, which means that you don't do it too often, or the art, which means that you do it a whole lot of comparison? Do you find yourself like scrolling on social media and getting caught up in people's fancy vacations, their nice cars, their perfect clothes, their perfect kids, their big fancy house? You know, do you find yourself looking at the lady at church who may be sitting across from you or in the pew up where she is always dressed to the nines, her hair is perfect, her clothes are perfect, she's wearing high heels, she looks stylish, her kids are perfectly dressed, she just seems so confident and so nice and so kind. It's like she never has a crossword, she volunteers to help with everything, and like everybody just loves her, and you're like, I wish I could be like that. Or do you see the other moms at like your after school sporting events, and like they're all put together, they're in their nice cute little workout clothes, they have no lumps, no bumps, no rolls, you know, they don't have spit up down their shirt or food, or you know, their kids are just perfect, they're perfectly dressed, they don't have an attitude, they don't fuss and fight with each other, they behave, and it's like her car is always clean. When she opened the doors, nothing falls out. And it's like, yeah, she's got it together. And you're like, man, I wish I was like that. I wish I had my life together. I wish that, you know, I looked put together. Got perfect makeup, perfect hair, perfect clothes, perfect body, perfect husband, perfect children, you know, a clean house, everything. Isn't that what everybody wants? Well, friends, I'm here to tell you that comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself to others, you become discontented. You lose insight and perspective of your own joy. You start being negative. You start being rude, not only to your family, but to yourself. And how can you live a contented life if you always feel less than? So join me today as I give you 5 tips on how to combat discontentment and the comparison game. So the big question is, how do we stop the comparison game and be content with the life that we are creating? So step number 1, consider taking a break from social media. I don't have social media. I do have an Instagram account, but I don't post to it. And I don't honestly get on there a whole lot. With social media, I am a reformed addict. I can tell you that. I got off of social media in 2020 in the height of COVID. I am an infection control nurse, and I dealt with a lot of negativity surrounding COVID, and what prompted me to get rid of it is that in my free time, I did not want to constantly see posts about COVID. Like, it was taking over my whole life anyways, And for entertainment, I did not want to hear about COVID. So that means I got rid of social media. I stopped watching the news. I cut it all off. And I haven't looked back since. The one thing that I've realized in my break is that it's very easy to become jealous, envious, discontented with your life when you see all your friends have perfect lives. They have nice houses, big fancy cars, their clothes are stylish, they're designer, they're beautiful. They all look put together, their bodies are perfect, no lumps, bumps, rolls. Not like mine. They go on vacations multiple times a year. You know, they buy anything and everything that they want to buy. And it's so easy to look at all the things that they have and how everything seems perfect. And then you start tearing your stuff apart. Like, I don't like the vehicle that I drive. Well, maybe I should look at buying a new one. I don't like the way that my house looks, so maybe I should think about redoing X, Y, and Z. Or maybe I should buy this, this, and this, and then it would look nicer. Or maybe if I bought some new clothes, I might feel better about myself and it would camouflage the lumps, bumps, and rolls that I have. Or maybe if I quit eating and I went on this big fat diet, then I would feel better about myself. You know, maybe then life would be perfect. Maybe then I would be happy. But the thing is that usually most people never get to the point of achieving all the things that are going to make them happy, or what they assume will make them happy. So, if you do choose to take a break from social media, the one tip that I would give you is use the extra time, because there is going to be extra time. You really don't realize how much time that you spend mindlessly scrolling through your phone, but you are going to have extra time. Use that time wisely. Use that time to make connections with your children, with your spouse, to get some housework done, to focus on some things that you can do for yourself. Focus on some self-care. If you're unhappy with the way that you look, focus on yourself. If you're unhappy with the way that you're keeping your house, focus on making a routine to get your housework done. The one thing that I can say is that you don't necessarily have to take a break from social media. You can choose to limit your time on there. And the other thing is that you need to keep real life perspective. Yes, you know these people and you know the things that they have and the places that they go, but nobody has a perfect life. Nobody. Nothing is perfect, ever. And you have to remember that and keep that into perspective. And even though everything seems picture perfect, just realize their life is just like yours. And if your life is just like mine, then it is a hot mess express, okay? This is the mom who wears her hair in a messy bun, never puts on makeup, whose clothes don't match, and who backed over the garage door this morning. That's this girl. So, everybody is a mess, picture perfect or not. So, tip number two. Get yourself some quiet time. Get in the Word and start a gratitude journal. Even if you don't want to journal, list things out in your head every day about things that you're grateful for. So, a game changer for me is that I do get up early, super early, and I wake up before my kids get up and before my husband gets up. I need just a few minutes to sit, drink my coffee, and get in the Word. I need God's Word to help me be a nicer, kinder person, and for Him to put it in perspective that all this stuff is just worldly possessions. The most important decision that you make in your entire life is that you choose to follow God and the life that you lead for Him. Do others see Jesus in you? Do they see His nice, kind spirit. So, with comparison, you are pretty much envious of what other people have and what you don't have. And a lot of times, it's easy to lose perspective and to be ungrateful. Not everybody has a nice house to live in. Not everybody has a fancy car to drive. Not everybody can have a limitless budget to buy whatever food that they want. But what I can say is that most of us are pretty darn blessed, especially if you live in the United States. Like, yes, there are people that still go hungry here. There are people who don't have running water and electric. And yeah, even though we have all those things, like, there are a lot that don't. And even though it may not look exactly the way that we want it to look, we still have it. And like, we need to be thankful and grateful for the things that we do have. And if you give yourself time each day to put that into perspective, it makes a huge difference in your attitude and honestly your actions on how you treat others, especially your family and yourself. So, tip number 3. You need to realize that your story right now is not your story forever. You can change and reinvent yourself with a little hard work and dedication. So, if you're unhappy with the way that you look, start focusing on your nutrition. Focus on exercise. Focus on water intake. Focus on your sleep. All those habits are going to lead to a healthier lifestyle, which in return will change what you look like on the outside, and it'll change your inside too. If you're unhappy about your financial situation, learn how to create a budget, learn how to follow a budget. Watch YouTube videos on how to do this stuff. I mean, research it on the internet. Learn how to get a side hustle. There are ways to change your trajectory. You are able now in the 21st century to research just about anything on the internet, and it's free. It's a wealth of knowledge. All you have to do is set your mind to it, be dedicated, be disciplined, be real about what you want to change, and focus on the steps that you can do right now to help you make habits and choices to change what you don't like. You are not stuck where you are now. You can change. You can be different. So, step 4 and 5 I'm going to talk about together because they go hand in hand. So, step 4, try not to be judgmental towards other people. And step 5, be nice and kind not only to others, but to yourself. So, how often have you all found yourself looking at the mom in the grocery store whose kids are not wearing shoes and are running around? You got one in the car screaming, and it's like, oh dear Lord, please help her. She don't have her act together. Well, honey, I ain't got my act together either. Like I mentioned, I'm the one that ran over the garage door this morning. Like, you never know what's going on in somebody else's life. You don't walk in their shoes. You don't know what demons they fight. Every single person on the face of this earth struggles. And a lot of times people look picture perfect on the outside, but they are struggling with some deep stuff on the inside. And we need to practice the golden rule. Treat others the way that we want to be treated. We want to be treated nice and kind, and we need to show that kindness to others. So, this brings us to being nice and kind to yourself. I don't know if you all are like me. I have a horrible habit of just being nasty to myself, like saying horrible things like, you're fat, you look ugly, why would you wear that? That doesn't look right on you. Like, why aren't you nice like so-and-so? Or You know, why don't you have it together? Why don't you fix your hair? Why don't you wear makeup? Why don't you look like this? Why don't you act like that? I don't know why. I don't know why I do that to myself. Like, I would never, ever, ever, ever talk to anybody else like that. So I don't know why I talk to myself that way. I don't. But I'm trying to make a conscious habit of being nicer and kinder to myself. I am a mom of 2 girls, and I want my girls more than anything to be nice and kind to themselves. I don't want them to ever look in the mirror at themselves and think, gosh, you look fat today. Gosh, why would you wear that? Look at your hair. You look awful. Like, I do not want them to struggle like I do sometimes. And I've always been told that actions are caught, not taught. And I don't want them to see me struggling with myself. Like, sometimes truly you are your own worst enemy. And this is a reminder. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself kindness. Don't talk to yourself worse than you talk to anybody else. If the Lord can forgive me each and every day of my shortcomings and all the many mistakes that I make, then I deserve to show myself some grace. So use this as a reminder. Be nice. Be kind to yourself. Eyes and ears are watching and listening. And I'm not talking about just kids. We are all guilty of watching the lady in the grocery store, watching the lady at church, watching the other moms at the school functions and events. Like, everybody is watching. So be aware. And as you are watching others and yourself, try to be nice, try to be kind, try to show grace. Thanks so much for having this motivational chat with me today. I hope that you will find some of these tips and tricks helpful for you to stop the comparison game and to not let it be a thief of joy in your life. So come back Monday and I will have a prep with me, get it all done video to set yourself up for success in a busy week. Hope you all have a great Labor Day.